We're going to start recording. All right. Let's do this again. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right.
What the hell?
Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Okay.
Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Live on all the interwebs and internets, it's Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Fuck yeah!
All right. There we go. That's about the best we're going to get for the background. Good evening, everyone. I apologize for all the issues. I don't know what's going on. Ustream is apparently having a brain-related event, and they will be hearing about it from me as soon as the show is over. We were going to have a guest tonight, but there was a small communication issue, and basically, when I emailed him, I did mention that I'm in Central, but I did not know he was in Eastern. Otherwise, I would have made doubly sure he understood I was saying 6 o'clock Central. So we have rescheduled. He says he'll come on next week, no ill will. But we still have our special guest co-host for this week, Rob Poole, in our I guess we could say Baltimore office, our Baltimore bureau, and he'll be with us for the whole show. And it's basically going to be mostly about the DNC. But Rob, what did you think of Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood? That was last week.
I know
but,
that.
Yeah, he was interesting.
You weren't on last week, so I want to know what you thought. I mean,
well, I thought it was an interesting little show, but the problem with the whole Clint Eastwood thing was that, and during his performance with the chair, what he really did was showcased that the Republicans are running against an invisible Obama. An invisible Obama that does not exist.
Except in their own derangements. Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of sad and pathetic. I have I have a lot of respect for Clint Eastwood because here's the thing. He says he's a libertarian. What the fuck is he doing at the Republican National Convention? He's pro-choice, pro-gay marriage. He supports the American auto industry, and the GOP is against pretty much everything. I think I think happened, and this is just me. This is what a lot of blogs and liberals have been saying is he got pounded for that Halftime in America ad at the Super Bowl because, oh my God, how dare you say something nice about President Barack Obama, my friends? Rush Limbaugh there.
Well, the thing about that, though, it's my opinion, and maybe a lot of other liberals also think of it that way. There was also a really good case of trolling the Republican message.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he comes up there and he basically, I don't know. He just basically lined out everything that the Republicans are in their head when they see Obama.
Well, like I said, the Barack Obama that Republicans hate is a product of their own imagination, and as we'll see from audio from the Democratic National Convention, he's not this divisive, hateful figure you are thinking of, the Tea Party. And I see we have a special visitor, Linnea, from all the way from Sweden, regular of the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide, out of Chicago, Illinois. she popped in to say hi. You're free to stay. We have pie, we have cake, but it's probably close to bedtime where she's at. So, yeah, I mean, there is just this huge difference in between the two conventions. The Republican National Convention was all about Barack Obama and how much we kids can't stand that communist sumbitch. Whereas the Democratic National Convention was, I mean, there was actual facts and statistics and plans. I like plans. I'm a huge fan of plans.
Numbers.
Yeah, numbers.
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic.
Math.
Booyah. You know. And we're going to talk about more, but, you know, I think we need to give it up for the big dog. He kicked, and, I mean, let's make no mistake here, Rob. What we saw this week wasn't the Democratic National Convention. What we saw this week was Mitt Romney being strapped into an automatic ass-kicking machine turned up to 11 for 3 days straight. I know that's not new to you, but I still like that comparison. I mean, we've got audio from Elizabeth Warren. We've got audio from Jennifer Granholm. We've got audio from Biden, Clinton, Obama. And they just, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, bend over, Romney, boom. Bend over, Romney, boom. You know, I mean, I don't think there was Deval Patrick telling us what we need to hear, which is, Democrats, you need to grow a spine. We got that audio too, but, I mean, wow. And you know, I was up until about 4 this morning editing audio, and I still wasn't done. Enough about that, though. We'll talk about that in the after show, because something's got to give before I go crazy. Which some would argue is too late. Now, Rob, it's been a while since you've been on, and so I mean, I don't want to go super far back, but what did you think about this? Because I mean, this is still, I mean, I still think this is relevant, especially considering that Sandra Fluke, or it's Fluck, isn't it? Fluck spoke at the convention.
Fluke.
So let's Fluke. Okay, let's hear this disturbing comment from one of our right-wing friends.
Okay, so if an abortion could be considered in a case of, say, a tubal pregnancy or something like that, what about in the case of rape? Should it be legal or not?
Well, you know, people always want to try and make that as one of those things. Well, how do you slice this particularly tough sort of ethical question? It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down. But let's assume that maybe that didn't work or something. You know, I think there should be some punishment, but the punishment ought to be on the rapist and not attacking the child.
I mean, we talked about that last week, but I want to get your take. I mean, just how disturbing is that?
Well, it's not that disturbing when you consider the reality of when Aiken came out and said that, he said what they believe. They literally believe there's a difference between legitimate rape and forceful rape and all this other goofy terminology for it.
Right.
Rape is rape.
Exactly. It's, you know, Hal Sparks, who I have a lot of respect for, said in Charmageddon, and I highly recommend everyone, if you can, get Charmageddon on DVD. Excellent comedy, not an album, show, but he says, date rape is an oxymoron. Once the rape starts, the date's over. You know, no, I get what you're saying. The GOP isn't mad at him because of what he said. They're mad at him because he said it. They agree with him. Right. They're in the back room saying, "You go, good job," but they're also saying, "You're not supposed to say that out loud, you dumb bastard."
Well, yeah. I mean, look at Huckabee. He came out in the defense of Aiken.
Well, you know, Huckabee's an ass. He just hasn't made asshole.
Huckabee is an interesting character, and that he's one of those kind of Republicans that under normal circumstances, when he's not like spouting some crazy bullshit, he can look you straight in the face and tell you the water is not wet and the sky is not blue, but the way he delivers it, you almost think for a second, wait, is he right? No.
Yeah.
That sounds like bullshit to me. He's a snake oil salesman. Ryan, Romney, and Grover Norquist are all four of them are masters of it.
Yeah. I mean, Grover Norquist. I have. And I don't know if you've heard, Rob, but I actually got into it was very brief. It was a 2-tweet exchange, but I was actually engaged in combat with Dana Loesch. And
yeah, I heard that last week. Remember, I have been lurking in the chat room.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. No, you are in the chat. I guess Wes Smith isn't with us because he's planning for his wedding, and however, Wes Smith.
Wes.
Yes, congratulations. He will be tying the knot this Wednesday, and he will be our co-host next Saturday. So something to look forward to. Next Saturday we will have 100% more Wes. Wes Karskadin, Wes Smith, but and hopefully Wes will be here this week. I texted him earlier. I said, please tell me you got overtime for them making you work 12 hours, and he never got back to me. I don't blame him. He's probably busy, but I'm gonna call a spade, and that was absolute what they did to him. And I'm not saying this because he's my co-host and I needed someone here. I'm saying this because it's ridiculous, and that is 12 hours. No, the fact that
I don't know about his situation, but especially when you're working somewhere like he works at I believe a hotel, and I work in a motel, so when shit happens,
you're still there.
I'm still there.
That's what I thought, but I mean, I remember those stories. Yeah. I remember those stories way back. Oh, geez, has it really been over 12 years?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
I'm sorry.
I'm lazy. So
I'm frantically trying to find a job, and I can't get a work. I've got work study. No one will hire me. So what's the point of this work study program if there's no work?
Right.
But no, I mean, it's just. I mean, the past few weeks have just been absolutely crazy, and and again, I want to. Most of the show is going to be DNC, but for now, we're going to do a little RNC. So Mitt Romney's speech. Did you notice anything missing?
You mean like facts?
Well, aside from that.
Oh, you mean like what he's going to actually do?
Well, aside from that.
Details? Wait, what am I missing? Give me a clue here.
Republicans claim to love them, but they basically crap on every program meant to help them.
Oh, you mean the military?
Yes, thank you. He did not mention the military in his speech.
And not only him, the rest of the entire RNC totally missed the military. So I don't think we can just hold this against Romney. I think we need to hold it to all of them.
Oh, well, I mean, he got called out. So he did what every Republican does when the going gets tough. He went to Fox News. Here's a cut from that.
More things, Governor. To hear several speakers in Charlotte, and I don't think this is jump, they were essentially saying that you don't care about the U.S. military because you didn't mention U.S. troops and the war in Afghanistan in your nomination acceptance speech. We understand that you went to the American Legion the day before and you talked about the service and sacrifice of the military there. Do you regret opening up this line of attack, now a recurring attack, by leaving out that issue in the speech?
I only regret you repeating it day in and day out.
Well, I mean, we just came from Charlotte.
When you give a speech, you don't go through a laundry list. You talk about the things that you think are important, and I described in my speech my commitment to a strong military, unlike...
Okay, you talk about what's important. He is saying the troops aren't important. You hear that, troops? You hear that, grunts? You're not important to Mitt Romney. You are not important enough to mention in his nomination acceptance speech. I mean, he's an asswipe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't even understand what the fuck Arlie Ermey is doing as a Republican. He knows they don't care about the troops. They
well, you have to consider Mitt Romney's point of view in general. People in general are just numbers to him.
Yeah. You know.
He looks at it in the Bain point of view.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is what drives me nuts. Is America? You know, he wants to run America like a corporation. First of all, America isn't a corporation; it's a country. Second of all, we tried that. It was called the Bush years. Remember that? An 8-year shit taken on the Constitution of the United States of America.
Another thing they forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, Bush was completely absent. And
absent, I'd call it more like he's in hiding.
the
witness protection.
Yeah, who said that? Who said that? Was it? I think it might have been John Fugelsang. I don't know. I think, in fact, I think it was John Fugelsang who said that the RNC was a witness protection program.
They actually Bill Maher.
Oh, yeah. Now that makes sense. See, I can't watch Bill Maher because if I try to get it illegally, I get in trouble. So, anywho, we are going to go to, hold on. We are going to go to break, and we will be back. And don't forget, we will be running a little long tonight because of that issue with Ustream. And so we'll be back, and we're going to talk a little bit about, more about the RNC, and then we're going to shift to the DNC for the remainder of the show. We'll be back.
I'm glad this argument is being conducted on a mature adult level.
This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
Are you living in a progressive talk void? If so, be sure to visit leftwingradiosstations.com. The state-by-state listing is a quick and easy way to find any left-wing talk radio station across America, from sea to shining sea. Your progressive talk nirvana is only a click away at leftwingradiosstations.com. Be sure to like Left Wing Radio Stations on Facebook and share it with your friends. leftwingradiosstations.com. United we stand.
You never know who or what you'll hear when you listen to the Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com.
Greg Palast, I realized as we were talking that actually we were supposed to do this on Wednesday, so thank you so much for bearing with me.
Well, I am thrilled that we're doing that. You've jumped the other characters. Because, Nicole, I just think that your show is brilliant, and I want to thank you because my stuff may be prime time in Britain, but here I keep slamming into the electronic Berlin Wall, and you have snuck me across and into the information stream. And I hope that your listeners are aware of how important and precious your program is. So I want to thank you.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at RadioOrNot.com.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ Killjoy Detective.
It's Adam Hebert with Mike Check Radio.
And we are back. Paul Green says thank you for airing the left wing. Okay, my mic is on. Oh, that was close. Paul Green says thank you for airing the left wing radio stations, and of course we are more than grateful for the general support of leftwingradiosstations.com. Darn. So I've actually decided we're going to shift a bit. We're going to shift towards the DNC now. Now, here's something that really bothered me, and there was that whole, I don't know if you heard about it, Rob, I'm assuming you did, but the whole flubbub about God in the DNC platform. Did you hear about that? And of course,
yes, I did.
You know, and of course, true to form, the Democrats, of course, quickly cave. I'll tell you why I don't believe God should be in the DNC platform. And it's not because I'm an atheist. It's because I think that a true liberal understands and accepts that religion is a personal thing. It has no place in a political party's platform.
God is between you and God.
Exactly. And I think it's sad that they basically, you know, they did to the delegates at the DNC what the RNC did to the Ron Paul delegates. I mean, way to throw. Yeah, it was bad. It made them look bad. It made them look weak.
No, what really the real issue is, you're trying. No, what it really did, you're trying to cast yourself as this party that's for diversity, and not only, you're also missing the fact that they also brought up Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was just a slap in the face to all the Arabs that were in, you know, at the convention.
Well, it's not
the other
just
problem
that.
is, they're also now, this is now a huge opening for the Republicans, because now they can, that's going to be the next part of it. And Romney's already taken jabs at the president over this on the campaign trail, that, you know, that suddenly apparently the Democrats are the godless party, which for us would be great. It isn't quite true.
Right. And again, and you know, you gave them a perfect. They gave them a perfect opening in a line of attack. And like I said, it was weakness. They showed weakness, and the Republican Party pounced. And look, like I said, I don't think God, regardless of your religion, I was raised Catholic, and I realized this is a little bullshit. The priests who tell me that this, that, and the other thing are sins are getting away with raping little boys. I don't want to be affiliated with that religion. And I became an atheist. Of course, my mother lives in denial, but that's another story. Hi, Mom. But religion is private. It's not a political football. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, DNC showed major weakness in being so quick to change the platform. And again, I think they made a mistake on the Jerusalem thing, too. Because if we say Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, how can we claim to be an honest broker in the peace process? Clinton almost got peace for Israel. He was so fucking close, it's not even funny. Jerusalem was that final sticking point. And he never touched it. But if we're saying Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, that Israel doesn't have to share their holy toys, we can't claim to be an honest broker. Clinton did what he did because he was seen as an honest broker by both sides.
Not to mention the fact that Israel, last I checked, is a sovereign nation. I think they can dictate where their capital is without us helping them along the way.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, why does the Republican Party support Israel so much? And there's two reasons. First of all, Sheldon Adelson, who famously once said his only regret in life was wearing the uniform of the U.S. Army. And there's the other reason, that's because the Christian conservatives want Israel to exist for the sole purpose of all the Jews dying when Jesus Christ returns to begin the end of days. That's right, Jews. You are nothing. The GOP doesn't give a duck fuck about you. You're just there to die. And please, do them the courtesy and die quickly.
Yeah, it's the old rapture thing.
Yeah. And of course, we don't believe in the rapture because, well, I mean, even if you're a Christian, the rapture is nowhere in the Bible. It's I really have to get John Fugelsang on because I always feel like such a heel for referencing him and never having him on. He says, the rapture, biblical fan fiction, and it's true. It's nowhere in the Bible. It has no biblical, nothing biblical. I mean, So anyway, here's another issue. Okay, so initially, Barack Obama's acceptance speech was going to be in that huge stadium. And they pulled it in. Well, of course, what happens? Rush Limbaugh and all the Republicans. And see, this is what I keep saying. There is no true liberal media. I'm the liberal media. Kenny Pick's the liberal media. Danielle and Shane are the liberal media. MSNBC is not liberal. They had Pat fucking Buchanan on their payroll for 12 years. But of course, there is a conservative media, and they all start saying, "Oh, he was afraid he couldn't fill the stadium." And of course, no. It was about the weather. It had rained the night before, and the weather reports weren't looking good, and they decided to bring it in. But of course, Charles Krauthammer, that stupid gimp of Fox, had this to say. And what the
Charles, I have 10 seconds. The change from Bank of America Stadium to here in the arena.
It wasn't the weather. They knew what the weather was going to be months ago. This is clearly a response to the fear of a sea of empty seats. That's why this is being done.
Charles Krauthammer, as always, thank you very much.
Well, here's the problem right off the bat, and you probably we're about to say it's probably butted in. Obviously, this guy doesn't understand how meteorology works. You don't predict the weather months in advance. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. But you have to understand he's a Republican, so he doesn't believe in science.
Oh yeah, God did it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they will seize on anything to bash this president. That's the difference between the RNC and the DNC. The RNC was all about hate of one man. No one's going to vote for Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is hated among the GOP. The Christian conservatives don't like him because he's a Mormon, because he's moderate. The fiscal conservatives don't like him because he ran a liberal state. Okay? He tried his best to run Massachusetts into the ground, and he still failed. Thank God. But they're saying they hate Barack Obama more than they hate Mitt Romney, so they'll vote for Mitt Romney. And I don't think that's a winning proposition. I think, don't get me wrong, it's going to be close, and everyone suck it up and vote. I understand that you are not 100% happy. Guess what? You're never going to be 100% happy in politics unless you're a fucking teabagger and Adolf Hitler is elected president.
Sounds about right. I mean, really,
or Attila the Hun.
For my entire lifespan, my adult life, it's always been about picking the lesser evil. I mean, I don't, I have issues with Obama. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
There are things that we need to address that the president has done in the last 4 years. Especially between like medical marijuana and other privacy issues.
Mm-hmm.
But the contrast between the two is glaring.
Oh yeah. And I've said this before. The Mormons want to establish a Mormon theocracy in America. I forget his name.
You have it right, Joseph Smith.
I was going to say Joseph Campbell. Joseph Smith was basically so pissed that no one believed him, he said, one day we're going to kick your ass and we're going to own you. My words, not his, but I'm pretty sure that's the end goal. And Mitt Romney has been raised from cradle to this point to believe he is going to fulfill that prophecy of a Mormon theocracy. Mitt Romney is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. He is dangerous. Not just because he's a soulless son of a bitch who will do whatever he thinks he has to win an election, but because when he does win an election, he will destroy everything that made America great. That is not hyperbole. That is something I truly believe from the bottom of my heart.
Well, also considering, since you bring up Mormonism, there's also an interesting fact that goes along with that. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it, but there is a rule for Muslims to lie to infidels, to non-believers. And we've seen how elastic Mitt can be with the truth. So it makes me wonder, too, does he fall under the same kind of rule as a Mormon dealing with, other Christians? Can he get away with lying?
Well, I mean, we already know he can. Because he's been getting away with lying. He's been getting away with lying for over, almost 20 years.
The entirety of his political lifetime.
But we can take some small solace that Mitt Romney, and this is unheard of, Rob. Mitt Romney received absolutely no bounce from his convention. That is unheard of in modern history.
Yep. In fact, the president is actually enjoying a pretty nice bounce of his own.
Yeah. He is up, I believe, 7 points in favorability. That's substantial. And it's not just that, no convention bounce, no bounce from his VP pick. We went over that a few weeks ago.
Right.
And I think that's just a testament to what a horrible candidate Mitt Romney is. Mitt Romney basically won by default because he had the most money.
Yeah.
And which is why he's so unpopular.
And the greatest part of it is, I remember, if you remember back, when he announced that Paul Ryan was going to be the vice president, and the little ceremony, the little show where he announced him as president.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the teabaggers were thinking, like, yeah, let's make him the president, and we can make Romney the vice president.
Well, I mean, and Victor Rocco points out, Daily Kos says Obama got a 6-point bump, and that's 2 more points than he got in 2008. So, I mean, again, we can't relax our guard. Like I said, we have to suck it up and say, you know what? I'm not entirely happy. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think we're going to be able to keep the Senate at this rate. Todd Akin is up again.
I think it's going to be very close.
It's going to be close, but I mean, if Todd Akin had lost, if Todd Akin loses, they can't take the Senate. It's statistically impossible. But he's back up in the polls, which just shows how evil and hateful these Republicans are. They are so obsessed with power. They don't, they would slit their mama's throat for a nickel. Okay? So, and again, I'm not engaging in hyperbole. This is something I honestly believe based on their behavior.
Yeah, they'll suck the dick of a job creator, that's for sure. Right, there's some campaign financing involved,
Mm-hmm. Well, damn. But no, I mean, seriously, I'm not going to tell you have to vote for Obama. But
just vote.
Vote!
Please.
For the love of God, vote! Because I know if you're listening to this program, you're not stupid enough to vote for Mitt Romney. Unless one of my teabagger friends is here. Armin, are you there? I doubt Armin is here, although we do have one guest. But, no, I mean, the funny thing is Rob, I haven't heard much from my right-wing friends on Facebook since the Ryan announcement. I think they know they're sunk.
Very much so. Especially when you look at the electoral. If you look at any of the web pages that show the electoral vote, yeah, that goose is cooked.
Yeah, there's more solid blue states than there are solid red states. That's a fact. There's more states that lean Obama than that lean Romney. The only reason why Romney has a chance is because the people in Florida, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin have apparently lost their fucking minds.
Well, there's also the fact that the GOP is trying their damnedest to, make sure that minorities can't vote.
Right. And we reported on the Pennsylvania thing. I am trying to book Brad Friedman from Brad Blog.
But the worst thing of it is, though, it's not just Pennsylvania. It's also Ohio, Florida,
right.
Michigan.
Well,
probably.
And my understanding is that Ohio the Ohio Secretary of State has said he will comply with the court's order, even as he appeals it. So, early voting is being re-implemented in Ohio. We have to get that law in Pennsylvania. If we can get a court to say, what's the technical term for not implement it? To put it on hold. To issue a stay. That law will not be on the books on election day. We just need a stay. Which is why that Republican court in Pennsylvania that was run by Republicans wouldn't issue a stay. They know full well what that law is about. It's about suppressing Democratic voters.
Exactly.
So we've got just Paul Ryan lying through his teeth. And at the RNC. Mitt Romney doesn't mention the troops. Big mistake, Mittens. And I mean, let's face facts. You know, no one is going to. No one's voting for Mitt Romney. They are voting against Barack Obama.
Yeah, he's brown. We can't vote in the brown guy. But you know, since you mentioned Romney and Ryan about the RNC, the biggest thing that we're going to remember about the RNC is going to be Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
and the chair.
And it's like I said last week. It's always sad when a person we all respect and deeply admire loses their mind in front of the entire country. But enough about that. Let's talk about Clint Eastwood.
I don't know. I don't think I still think that he knew what he was doing, and he was trolling the RNC.
It's possible. I mean, who knows?
I mean, if he's a libertarian, that would be a great thing to do.
I don't know. I don't understand why Eastwood would vote for Mitt Romney, aside from the fact that he just wants another tax cut. Anywho, we're going to take a break. I don't know when Wes will be here tonight. He's been apparently too busy to answer my last text, but that's cool. I'm not upset. But hopefully we won't have a repeat of next week. Last week. Thank you. But I can't wait to tell him about my little fight with Dana Loesch. Anyway, we're going to go on break. We will be back. This is Adam Hebert with special guest co-host Rob Poole. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Do they have Mic Check Radio in the spirit world?
As a matter of fact, they do not.
This is Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Unfiltered truth, news, and opinion. Filter-free radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott. Live every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Radio or not. And filterfreeradio.com.
People don't think critically anymore. Just to examine or critique the system, the culture, political assumptions, things that they see on TV. I mean, whatever happened to this thing? Oh, don't believe everything you see or hear.
Yeah, truth in advertising.
Right.
Wasn't that a phrase?
Live every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
How do you impart upon somebody the disconnect or what's otherwise known as hypocrisy that people have, that they deny themselves from? You know, they live in denial and live in the illusion.
You can't tell somebody they're wrong. They have to see it themselves.
Yeah.
And it has to, it's like they have to kind of make it themselves.
Yeah, they have to discover for themselves how to think that way. So how do you plant the inception?
Filter-free radio, Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Radio or not. And filterfreeradio.com. If you want talk, go to the other guys. If you want conversation, go to Ray Medeiros at usaprogressive.com.
The American people need to hold the Republican Party accountable. They're not willing to raise taxes on millionaires and billionaires in order to pay for American infrastructure, put Americans back to work, and educate American children. Yet they're willing to add to the national debt in order to go into another war, this time against Iran.
usaprogressive.com. The conversation starts here.
The hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
And now, live on your computer machine, it's Adam Hebert with Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah!
Look, I'm up to here with cool, okay? I am so amazingly cool. You could keep a sight of meat in me for a month. I am so hip I have difficulty seeing over my pelvis.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
And we are back. I forgot to turn on my fucking mic again. Oh, I need to actually become a professional at this, Rob. It looks like you know.
Well, you keep practicing, and eventually you'll get it.
Yeah.
Someday.
Someday. And of course, the day I finally get it will be the day we have to give it up. Probably, you know. But
give it up. Give it up.
Well,
for what?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, I'm learning Japanese, and I would like to go abroad and work. And if I do that, there's going to be 14 hours between me and, you know, actually, there's probably going to be, well, it's probably, you know, I think it was 14 hours between Japan and Mountain Time. So, I mean, that's
that could be a little difficult.
You know, that's going to basically make broadcasting nearly impossible. But, you know, no, I mean, I'm not saying we're definitely going to give it up, but I'm just saying that, you know, I got to keep in mind, this is only safe as long as I'm in school. You know, as long as I'm in school and it's not interfering with my classwork, we are on the air! And I'm still working on training Wes to be able to run the show on his own in case I have to take a weekend off because of class, you know.
Right.
So, anywho, still no sign of Wes, but hopefully he'll be here soon. I'm really looking forward to hearing from him because, you know, I haven't spoken to him since our last show before our break, or as, you know...
Oh, do we have to call it that?
What's wrong with calling it
Bikini Moon?
I like Harvey Birdman, damn it! But no, I mean, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to hear from him and get his thoughts. So let's shift to the DNC. Who do we want to talk about first? I want to save. I'm going to say this. I don't want to lead off with Jennifer Granholm just because she kicked Mitt Romney's ass so hard the next Republican nominee for president will feel it.
Yeah, they'll have to take the shoe out of Romney's ass.
Do you want to share your joke from last night?
Let me look it up again. Just make sure I say it correctly.
For some reason, no matter what I do, I cannot keep my room the right temperature. Okay. Ooh.
Damn, it's down there.
No, I really like this joke. Oh. The only problem with the setup is I cut off part of my head if I lean too far back.
Yeah, it's kind of really going in and out.
Oh, no, well, I mean, it's a little rough, but that's about the best I can do. I mean, considering I'm using a bed sheet, I think it looks pretty damn good. We're all about production values here at Mike Check Radio.
What values?
Huh?
Nothing. I don't know. I can't seem to find it.
That's okay. We'll see if we can find it and we'll share it later. But and just so you know, I mean, you should check out Kenny Pick's new background. He painted his the bedroom he uses as a studio. He painted it in a black that can be used as a chalkboard. So he has writing on it, Turn Up the Night, Radio or Not, the website, and in the little left-hand corner, Glenn Beck was here. But, and of course, as always, please check out our fine friends, the fine folks over at Radio or Not. Anywho, let's start with the DNC. How about we lead off with Deval Patrick?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. Deval Patrick, governor of Massachusetts. I almost said Maine.
This is the election of a lifetime because more than any one candidate or policy, what's at stake is the American dream. That dream, the ability to imagine a better way for ourselves and our families and then to reach for it, that dream is central to who we are and what we stand for as a nation. Whether that dream endures for another generation depends on you and me. But it also depends on who leads us. In Massachusetts, we know Mitt Romney. By the time he left office, Massachusetts was 47th in the nation in job creation during better economic times, and household income in our state was declining. He cut education deeper than anywhere else in America. Roads and bridges were crumbling, business taxes were up, and business confidence was down. Our clean energy potential was stalled, and we had a structural budget deficit. Mitt Romney talks a lot about all the things he's fixed. I can tell you, Massachusetts was not one of them.
That was, I mean... Wow.
Well, considering especially that he's the man that came in after, Mitt Romney, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean...
But, we're always, especially when you're dealing with politics, you're always dealing with that whole hyped up, vote for me, or, there might not be a tomorrow. And the irony of it is, he's right. Can we really trust Mitt Romney with fixing the middle class of America? I don't think so.
No, I mean, you have a legitimate point, Rob. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is that Mitt Romney doesn't understand what the middle class has gone through. He probably doesn't know the price of a gallon of milk. He probably just tells Consuela, "Here's 100. Go get me a gallon of milk."
Right. Bet me $10,000.
I remember. I should get that drop. The man is clueless. The man is definitely clueless, and it's sad that he's even doing as well as he is, because if this were a normal election, Barack Obama would be winning in a landslide.
Right. But unfortunately, there's several issues with that. So first of all, we have hyper-partisan bullshit from the right they basically have their people convinced that Barack Obama is the black Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
And they are basically voting against their own interests.
Yeah.
Romney doesn't understand the middle class. He doesn't get it. He can talk all he wants, but he doesn't get it. He has never had to, save money or, have to worry about whether or not he's going to be able to pay his bills the next day. He's not had that strain on his life. And, his view is he is Mr. 1%.
Yep.
He is the millionaire's millionaire. He has a silver spoon in his mouth, and magic was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and magic diapers.
Yep, I like the magic underwear jokes. They never get old, and that's serious. That's not criticism. Well, here's cut 2. It's a little longer. Here is Deval Patrick again.
He's a fine fellow and a great salesman. But as governor, he was a lot more interested in having the job than doing the job. So when I came to office, we set out on a different course, investing in ourselves and our future. And today, Massachusetts leads the nation in economic competitiveness, student achievement, healthcare coverage, life sciences and biotech, energy efficiency, and veteran services. Today, with the help of the Obama administration, we are rebuilding our roads and bridges and expanding broadband access. Today, we're out of the deficit hole Mr. Romney left, and we've achieved the highest bond rating in our history. Today, with labor at the table, we've made the reforms in our pension and benefit systems, our schools, our transportation system, and more that Mr. Romney only talked about. And today in Massachusetts, you can marry whomever you love.
Oh,
wow.
Shucks.
Like I said, they're not even, they're taking Romney out back by the woodshed and just giving him a savage ass kicking.
Just put that poor thing down.
Yeah, let's do to Romney what the kid had to do to Old Yeller. And please, I'm not advocating the assassination of Mitt Romney. It's a mercy killing.
Actually, if any of you are interested in shooting any Republicans, please, by all means, start with Grover Norquist.
Yeah. So, this is what we need. A lot of the reason why Democrats aren't so great at getting elected is because we're a bunch of fucking pussies. Let's be honest. Liberals in general, and I'm just saying, we don't fight. We usually just go, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. And that doesn't work. No one's going to go with the guy whose response to being hit is, to curl up in a fetal ball and say, please don't hit me.
The strange thing about this election specifically is now it used to be the other way around. It used to be the Democrats were the ones that would, curl up in a ball, as you said. Now it's the Republicans that are doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like I said, I love what, we gotta listen to more of the speech. Let's do cut 4 of Deval Patrick. Oh, what the hell? Let's do cut 5 too. We'll take 2. They're small. What the?
But we are on a better track because we placed our faith not in trickle-down fantasies and divisive rhetoric, but in our values and our common sense. The same choice faces the nation today. All that Republicans are saying is that if we just shrink government, cut taxes, crush unions, and wait, all will be well. Never mind that those are the very policies that got us into recession to begin with. Never mind that not one of the governors who preached that gospel in Tampa last week has the results to show for it. But we Democrats, we owe America more than a strong argument for what we are against. We need to be just as strong about what it is we are for. The question is, what do we believe? Well, we believe in an economy that grows opportunity out to the middle class and the disenfranchised, not just up to the well-connected. We believe that freedom means keeping government out of our most private affairs, including out of a woman's decision whether to keep an unwanted pregnancy and everybody's decision about whom to marry.
I mean, I love this man! Not in...
Deval Patrick, 2016.
I'm telling you, Patrick Booker! Let's go. Patrick Booker 2016. They can run together. And see, this is what I don't get, Rob. If the Republicans were smart, they'd write this election off and focus everything on 2016 because there's going to be no clear successor to Barack Obama. Joe Biden isn't going to run for president again. Hillary Clinton has said she's out of electoral politics.
Right. She's going to be out. Actually, she's going to be out come the end of the election one way or another. And most likely John Kerry will be taking over as the Secretary of State one way or another. If he gets reelected.
I don't know about that because I wouldn't risk having to fill John Kerry's seat and having the teabaggers take both. Elizabeth Warren is not doing well in the polls. She is about 5 points behind of Scott Brown, which I don't understand. I mean, I don't get it. How the fuck is a poser like Scott Brown running ahead in a deep blue state like Massachusetts? I don't understand. But the fact of the matter is that if John Kerry has to step down, the rules for that election are different. If they pick another, Martha Coakley or whatever the lady's name was from last time, we could lose both Ted Kennedy and John Kerry's seat. So, I mean, I would, don't get me wrong, I think he would be great in the job, but I'm hoping, please, Hillary, stay. Please stay. All right, here's Deval Patrick, cut 7.
And let's all start by standing up for President Barack Obama. This is the president. This is the president who delivered the security of affordable health care to every single American in every corner of this country after 90 years of trying. This is the president who brought Osama bin Laden to justice, who ended the war in Iraq and is ending the war in Afghanistan. This is the president who ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell so that love of country, not love of another, determines fitness for service, who made equal pay for equal work the law of the land. is the president who saved the American auto industry from extinction, the American financial industry from self-destruction, the American economy from full-blown depression, who added 4.5 million private sector jobs in the last 2.5 years, more than in George Bush's 8 years in office. My friends, the list of accomplishments is long, impressive, and barely told. And even more impressive when you consider that congressional Republicans have made obstruction itself the centerpiece of their governing strategy. With a record like that and a vision that hopeful and powerful, I, for one, will not stand by and let him be bullied out of office, and neither should you.
Are you ready for the money shot?
I am ready.
Oh my God, I love this one. He tells us what we need to hear, which is, everyone listen very carefully.
If we want to win elections in November and keep our country moving forward, if we want to earn the privilege to lead, my message is this: it's time for Democrats to grow a backbone and stand up for what we believe.
I mean, wow. I'm telling you, I love my party. I love the Democratic Party. But we need to stop being a bunch of pussies. We need to start fighting back. It's like in the Untouchables. If they pull a knife, we pull a gun. If they put one of ours in the hospital, we put one of theirs in the morgue. That's the Chicago way. And it's time we started going the Chicago way on the Republicans' asses.
I'm ready for the war.
We are at war. We are at war. I'm tired of people. You're acting like you're at war. I am at war. It's like Colonel Mustard said in Clue. This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Any cook will tell you that. Hopefully Wes will be on with us after this break. No sign of him yet, but we're eagerly awaiting the return of the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio. Anyway, this is the Green News Report break, and we will be back.
And we are at an impasse.
I'm afraid so. I can't compete with you physically, and you're no match for my brains.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Adam Hebert.
Yes?
Morons.
You're listening to Adam Hebert and Mike Check Radio.
It's Thursday, September 6, 2012.
The boom in oil and gas production, combined with greater energy efficiency, has driven oil imports to a near 20-year low and natural gas production to an all-time high. And renewable energy production has doubled.
Bill Clinton makes the green case for Barack Obama. Plus, the DOJ excoriates BP for willful misconduct and gross negligence.
All of that and more straight ahead. From BradBlog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
Stand by for 6 minutes of independent green news, politics, analysis, and snarky comment.
Charles, I have 10 seconds. The change from Bank of America Stadium to here in the arena.
It wasn't the weather. They knew what the weather was going to be months ago.
Oh my God, Democrats can forecast the weather months in advance. Thank you, Charles Krauthammer. No wonder they didn't tell the Republicans they'd be hit by a hurricane on the first day of their convention. This is your Green News Report. Okay, Des, the Democrats' Nostradamus-like ability to predict the weather
months in advance
aside, this is only a 6-minute show. So do we have a prayer of covering what Bill Clinton covered in his 40-minute Democratic National Convention speech, even just on the green elements of that speech.
No, we don't. You can check out our website, greennews.bradblog.com, for the full clean energy agenda from the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte. We'll have more on that in a moment. But first, gotta tell you about the U.S. Department of Justice. They released an unusually scathing legal brief in settlement talks with BP this week. They're excoriating BP for, quote, gross negligence and willful misconduct in the catastrophic BP oil disaster 2 years ago. That's the one that killed 11 men and dumped over 206 million gallons of crude oil into the Gulf of Mexico, the worst oil spill in U.S. history.
Oh, so no wonder the DOJ wants to settle with them.
Well, I think that's pretty standard as far as these punitive damages and trials are concerned. The trial begins in January, and a finding of gross negligence would more than quadruple the fines that BP would have to pay, from $5 billion all the way up to over $21 billion. So it's in BP's best interests to try to reach a settlement before trial.
Yeah, it's in their best interest, but is it in ours? Why don't they just go to trial and forget this settlement nonsense? That's just me.
Well, BP says it will clean up tar balls and oil that washed up on Gulf Coast beaches after Hurricane Isaac if it is shown to be from BP's Macondo well. But BP also wants the government to apply all the money they spent on cleanup to reduce the total of any punitive fines they might receive.
Right, forget the settlement.
It's an astounding legal brief from the DOJ. You should read it on our website at greennews.bradblog.com.
Renewable energy from solar and wind has more than doubled under the president's leadership.
Clean energy getting lots of love at the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina this week.
The largest solar, wind, and geothermal plants in the world are sprouting up across our public lands.
That was Interior Secretary Ken Salazar speaking at the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina on Tuesday. Now, from a climate and energy standpoint, the first 2 days of the convention have much praise for America's booming clean energy industry. That's a huge contrast with the Republicans, whose agenda cuts clean energy funding. Not very many mentions of the need to address climate change or reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Most of the DNC speeches have focused on jobs saved by Obama's rescue of the American auto industry, which Republicans wanted to kill off, and jobs created in America's homegrown clean energy industry. The Obama administration has doubled clean energy generation in the U.S., says former President Bill Clinton, who made the case.
The agreement the administration made with the management, labor, and environmental groups to double car mileage, that was a good deal too. It will cut your gas prices in half, your gas bill. No matter what the price is, if you double the mileage of your car, your bill will be half what it would have been. It will make us more energy independent. It will cut greenhouse gas emissions. And according to several analyses over the next 20 years, it'll bring us another 500,000 good new jobs into the American economy.
Clinton also praised Obama's record on clean energy.
The president's energy strategy, which he calls all of the above, is helping too. The boom in oil and gas production, combined with greater energy efficiency, has driven oil imports to a near 20-year low and natural gas production to an all-time high. And renewable energy production has doubled.
It remains to be seen if Barack Obama himself can make as compelling a case for his own green policies. We'll cover that, no doubt, in our next Green News Report. Until then, check out our website at greennews.bradblog.com. Remember, you can download our reports anytime from iTunes, listen to them on your mobile device via Stitcher Radio, follow us 24/7 on the Twitters at Green News Report, and find us and like us on the Facebook. From bradblog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
And this has been your Green News Report.
Los Angeles is getting green, and Chicago is getting an infrastructure bank because Republicans and Democrats are working together to get it. They didn't check their brains at the door. They didn't stop disagreeing, but their purpose was to get something done.
You never know who or what you'll hear when you listen to the Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com.
Bill Maher, you're here in Miami on Friday night. You're doing a show at the Fillmore at the Jackie Gleason Theater. They just renamed this theater the Fillmore. And they put up a couple of psychedelic posters. So I guess...
Was it the theater Jackie did his TV show?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What I hear they did is put up 2 of those old Bill Graham posters and renamed it.
Yeah, I can't think of 2 different icons of show business.
Yeah, really.
Bill Graham and Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, why they just didn't play up the Jackie Gleason aspect, I don't know. But then again, this is South Florida.
Right. Okay.
Welcome to it.
I feel warned.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at radioornot.com.
Hi, friends. This is Tom Hartman.
This is Stephanie Miller.
Hey, this is Hal Sparks.
I'm Brad Friedman, and I approve of Nicole Sandler's RadioOrNot.com.
Radio or Not.
Radio or Not.
RadioOrNot.com.
RadioOrNot.com.
RadioOrNot.com. RadioOrNot.com.
Well, just who do you think you are, honey?
Adam Hebert.
Or something? Yes. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but... What did you say? Oh, photons. You are?
Adam Hebert.
Yeah, but don't shout or they'll all want one. The?
Adam Hebert.
No, just A.
Adam Hebert.
Didn't you hear? I come in 6 packs.
Forget. But we still cannot get a $2.15 over 2 years. Over 2 years. What is the price? We ask the other side. What is the price that you want from these working men and women? What cost? How much more do we have to give to the private sector and the business? How many $1 billion more are you asking? Are you requiring? When does the greed stop? We ask the other side. That's the question. And that's the issue, Mr. President. Make no mistake about it. They have, on the Republican side, 70 more amendments. 70 more amendments. We have none. We're prepared to vote now. 70 more amendments. Oh, yes, we want increase in the minimum wage. We want this, we want that. But silence over there, or let's have some other kinds of amendments that have virtually nothing to do with this. Do you have such disdain for hard-working Americans that you want to pile all your amendments on this? Why don't you just hold your amendments till other pieces of legislation? Why this volume of amendments on just the issue to try and raise the minimum wage? What is it about it that drives you Republicans crazy? What is it? Something. They're going to require us to go in to have a cloture vote next week. I can see it already. Amendments have already been filed that are going to be related in case we do get cloture to delay this even further. What is the price that the workers have to pay to get an increase? What is it about working men and women that you find so offensive?
Speaking of Democrats with backbone, that is, of course, the late, great Ted Kennedy, and it's certainly easy to understand why the Republicans hated him so much, and, they still do, of course. They hate him in death as much as they hate him in life. But, I mean, dear God, hearing that's like, we need to exhume the corpse, get a DNA sample, and clone us a few hundred Ted Kennedys.
I'll be in favor of that. That's research I can believe in.
But apparently, I mean, Rob, you heard about the tribute to Ted Kennedy, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it though, but
right.
I probably should change that. But no, I can answer the problem that Mr. Kennedy faced. You know what it is? They can't stand the thought of not us giving money to poor people.
Yeah.
Poor people. Giving them money.
I know.
They don't get it. Here's the basic problem with our economy. The problem it faces right now. And I'll try to keep this brief. Alright. Our economy works like this. Your spending is my income. That's the way it works. The real job creators are the middle class. because we have this, chain of supply and demand. When poor people have money, they spend it. They buy food. They pay their mortgage. They pay their rent. That's the way it works.
Yeah. Well, now apparently some people objected to the tribute to Ted Kennedy. Here is a clip from the O'Reilly Factor. I'm sorry, Rob. I have to do this.
Here now to fill some airtime, Fox News analyst Monica Crowley and Alan Combs, who's in Charlotte celebrating the release of his new book, Thank the Liberals for Saving America. So, Combs, if you can't sell any copies down there, you're toast, man. You are toast.
I know. It's snow to the Eskimos. I know. That's what it is.
That's right. It should be
for Senate. Part of that.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, I did see it.
But they did a tribute to him. Oh, you did? Ted Kennedy, and I know you might not have seen this, but they did a tribute to him. Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, I did see it.
So
it's a tribute to Kennedy, and part of his career was going against Mitt Romney for Senate. Part of that debate, I thought it was relevant. It's not as exciting as an empty chair. I can understand that.
No, but wasn't it in bad taste to use a dead guy to club Romney?
No.
Oh my God! We're using a dead guy to club Mitt Romney. Thank God! Thank Jesus that the Republicans, You can tell where I'm going with this. Thank God that they have the decency, the humanity.
Say the humility
to not use, Oh shit! I'm sorry. 1 second. Technical difficulties. There we go. Ronald Reagan. Oh, damn it! I just gave it away. I'm sorry. There we go. Thank God that the Republic... You son of a... Get off my monitor! I'm sorry. I'm falling apart here. Help me. Thank God the Republicans would never exploit a dead man. But wait! They forget that one problem, the one thing Richard Nixon forgot about in Watergate.
Are you familiar with audio tape?
Listen, Rob.
Ronald Reagan.
Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Tax cut. Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Tax Ronald Reagan. For Ronald Reagan. President Reagan. I'm with President Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan in the Reagan tradition.
The Ronald Reagan technique.
President Reagan.
Oh, yeah. They never, ever exploit a dead man for to make a political point.
The irony of that too is, in today's GOP, they may treat Reagan like a patron saint, but he would be far too liberal.
He would get teabagged out of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
actually, Reagan,
go on.
And I'm gonna voice out this opinion of mine. Reagan is today the 80s Republicans, the so-called fiscal conservatives. Those are now today's Democrats. The great irony of the whole Reagan thing, too, is, when we elected Obama to presidency, there was a lot of hype about that. And part of that was, well, he's going to be like the Black Kennedy, or like the Black FDR. And we didn't get that. You know what we got? We got the Black Reagan.
Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, so while we're talking about Republican hypocrisy, because I'd really like to... Come on, Wes, we're waiting on you! I want to play some clips from this stupid teabagger bitch. She sent out a tweet talking about how we need a president who loves America and Barack Obama. Here we go. This is Amy Kramer, teabagger extraordinaire.
To me, this tweet. God, I can't
this
see
is
anything
Soledad
anymore.
O'Brien.
That
Amy
you
Kramer
sent out
Soledad O'Brien.
at the end of August at 10:55 p.m. Huge difference between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama is that Mitt loves America. We need a president that loves this country. I think that's from that. I missed this one, but someone forwarded to me. Do you think that President Obama doesn't love this country? What does that mean?
I think that he is more about a global, being a global. What's the word? Being more one world, global, with other countries, and it's not about the shining city on the hill, the greatness that has always been America, that our founding fathers were about. I do believe that. I mean, I absolutely believe it. I'm not going to run from that. Look, I mean, President Obama, and I know.
Oh,
that woman can barely. That woman has trouble with stringing two words together, much less, thinking deep thoughts. But yeah, I don't think she quite gets it, and I think this past week with the DNC, I think the president himself kind of proved her wrong.
Well, yeah. So here's some more from the brain trust that is Amy Kramer.
From that, look, I mean, President Obama, and I know I'm going to take a lot of heat from this, but he's never.
You're going to take a lot of heat because you're a dumb bitch who shouldn't be on TV. Oh, deep breath.
Run anything. Mitt Romney, you asked me what is the case for Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, time and time again, has taken companies that are failing and turned them around to make them successful. I mean, he turned the Salt Lake City Olympics around. He ran the state of
with government money.
Massachusetts. Because what I'm saying is we are failing. We are about to go off this fiscal cliff. And we need somebody that can turn it around. President Obama has not turned it around. I'm sorry, he hasn't.
But the governor's also taken over companies and put people out of work.
I mean, you know what? I mean,
jobs and making money for himself and for his investors.
And you know what? And President Obama's energy policy, and President Obama's energy policy, if it's implemented, it's going to cost. I mean. Let me see. I have the numbers right here because I'm not very good with numbers.
In her
but
ass.
It's going to cost us 7.3 million jobs by 2020 and $1 trillion in compliance costs between 2020 and 2030.
I just never understand what any of that has to do with loving the nation. I mean, I honestly, I always feel like that's a code word for something else. Cause I never.
All right, first of all, I want to say thank you for holding this bitch's feet to the fire, Soledad. But you forgot to say the most important thing. She's lying!
Yeah, she's full of shit.
She's pulling those numbers out of her ass. Which is probably where she gets everything else from.
I mean, really, if she wants to, say these kind of things, maybe she should point us in a direction or where she's getting these claims from.
Yeah, they're probably coming from the Koch brothers or stupid Republican facts in quotation marks.com or oh my god, I just pulled this out of my ass.org. She's lying.
Please Google that. It might actually exist.
She's lying, and I mean, like I said, God bless Soledad O'Brien. If I'd been on that set, I would have just bitch slapped her. I'm not exaggerating.
Well, honestly, this is a problem that we're having with the media, and it's been addressed, in some places. The media will not call a lie a lie. They have to keep up this false, equivalency.
Yes. Okay, so here's more from.
Well, maybe this
is the thing. The foreign policy. It's not about foreign policy. We're never all going to agree on foreign policy. But why the Tea Party movement has been so successful is because of the fiscal response.
I think this is the leading from behind, right?
Yes.
So I was the journalist that actually reported that quote. So the leading from behind was something that was told to me, and actually what it refers to is the strategy in the U.S.
I think I missed a quote. Did I please? Let me see this. Hold on.
I mean, you know what? I mean,
jobs and making money for himself and for his investors.
And you know what? And President Obama's energy policy, and President.
No, we already did that one. I think I'm lost.
I always feel like that's a code word for something else.
There
I
we
never
go.
I don't feel like
what is
he
the basis
is
for questioning the president's love for this country.
Well, at the end
say
of
that?
I don't believe that he loves America the way that we do. I mean, that
what? We who?
He's more about one world. I mean,
What does
more
that
about.
mean?
I just explained it to you.
Well, clearly I'm not understanding.
Well, I mean, I don't know how else to explain it.
All right. we're done with that for now. Basically, in Amy Kramer's world, our foreign policy basically can be summed up like this.
Sounds fairly accurate.
And you know what? Who belongs to that voice? That is, of course, our most badass co-host in Liberal Talk, Wes Karskadin. Here we go.
People of Earth, your attention, please.
Who are you?
Well, speak up!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Wes Karskadin.
A foul-mouthed, barrel-chested, beer-bellied pile of ugly muscle.
Holy shit, you geeks are badass.
I apologize for nothing.
I'm like a hunter of peace, one who chases the elusive mayfly of love. Well, something like that.
I always feel like that's
boy. Sorry about that. Welcome back. I missed you last week.
I will not make out with you, Adam. I'm sorry.
I didn't miss you that much. No, thankfully, War was more than generous enough to fill that West-shaped void in the show. But no, I mean, you had some issues last week, and I hope, I hope everything worked out in the end.
Yeah, it did. Just some jack off at work. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I worked at Walmart, so I know, I hope you at least got overtime.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
This nigga get paid, yo.
But, Wes, did you hear about my little, because we were talking about Republican stupidity before we go back into talking about DNC. Did you hear about my little fight with Dana Loesch?
I heard bits and pieces of it.
All right.
Sounds like she sucks.
I wish.
That might be the reason I like her.
Well, I hear the vacuum in a head does provide some excellent suction, too, so,
Well, so here is the clip that prompted me to initiate the fight with her. And I know this is old news, but Wes wasn't here last week, and I want to see what he thinks. So here is Dana Loesch, who is quite possibly more shrill-voiced than Ann Coulter. If Ann Coulter and Victoria Jackson somehow managed to have a baby together, this is what she would sound like. I'm
sorry, just the image of that baby being conceived.
That's the left hold on. I'm sorry. What now?
The image of that baby's conception, it just makes me want to bleach my eyes. Thank you.
I'm sorry. We'll get some brain bleach. Brain bleach! That! Alright, so like I said, I know this is a repeat for our audience, but so here you go. This is Dana Loesch. And just some background. What happened is Stephanie Miller does Right Wing World every day on her show. And she plays these clips, and this was one of them. And Chris Lavoie, her executive producer, always fights with Dana Loesch and her husband, Chris Loesch, I believe. So, here you go.
That's the left collectively losing their minds because oh my gosh barbecue. Mitt Romney made a joke. He made a joke. The left likes to have a sense of humor, except when it comes to conservatives. When it comes to conservatives, we are no longer funny. We have no humor after conservatives talk. He was.
But I want to say thank you, Dana Loesch, for this piece of audio gold.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard. The left doesn't have a sense of humor when it comes to the right, because they are the greatest fountain of comedy I have ever seen.
Well,
obviously, this woman has never seen Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, or Bill Maher.
Yeah,
Or let's not forget George Carlin too.
Oh yeah, making jokes at the expense of the political right is a national pastime.
Yeah. So here's my response to Dana Loesch.
You're mental, aren't you?
That's of course Bill Corbett as Crow from Mystery Science Theater 3000, and so Chris Lavoie was playing this all day long on Tuesday's show. And Stephanie Miller said, "We apologize to Dana Loesch for playing that." And Chris says, "No, we don't." So I got an idea. You know I'm an agitator. I want attention from these right-wingers because...
You are an asshole.
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah.
So I sent her an email, a tweet that said, Stephanie Miller may have apologized, but I sure as hell won't when I play this all day, all on my show the entire time, Saturday. And she tweeted back and said, "Too bad no one will be listening." This shit just got real. She insulted the size of our audience. That's like insulting the size of our penis.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
Okay, maybe that's a bridge too far. But it is on.
Well,
it is on. I want 100 people in here next Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. Maybe if I okay. Spread the word among your friends. Get 100 people in here next Saturday, and I will give sexual favors to every one of them. I promise screaming orgasms.
Will the girlfriend be okay with that?
She just raised her hand and said, "Sign me up." So that's one.
All right.
She'll give testimonials. I give screaming orgasms.
And hello, Miss Wes's girlfriend. I'm afraid I don't know your name, but hello. As Rush Limbaugh once said, ladies and gentlemen, this program has no boundaries. Especially,
you invited me on, so damn well better not.
I when it came to co-hosts,
you have chosen wisely.
I endeavor every day to sink the censorship.
Well, we do not have censorship here, but we're coming up on a break. Damn it! I forgot to get the epic Chuck Norris audio.
Oh well.
Hold on. I think I can get it real quick. Did you hear about this one?
I mean, I've heard all kinds of stories about Chuck Norris being a dickhead. Well, so I don't know which one you refer to.
No, shit.
I heard something about it, but I didn't watch the commercial for it.
So he released he's got his own YouTube account. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus Christ. So anyway, I'm such an eloquent person, aren't I? So we'll do this in the last segment. So Wes, how was your break?
It was good. I mean, last week I was pretty much at work, so that sucked. But you know,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Other than that, it's been good.
Yeah, like I said, we did miss you, and you know.
Oh, you don't have to say nice things about me just because I'm here now.
No one show him the last week's episode, please.
Oh, I'm sure my ears should have been burning. But you know what? Fuck y'all anyway.
Well, I'm serious though. You were missed. I mean, we've been on the air for what now? We're doing our fourth month on the air.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've become beloved amongst our audience.
Yeah. I have. I question our audience's taste then, which is something you should never really do. But you know, they like me, weirdos.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, so we're gonna go to break. I was gonna do the epic Chuck Norris prediction for our country if.
Oh! Now I know what you're talking about.
Well, unfortunately, something is wrong because it will not let me download this audio. So that's why I said I
can fill in the background if we don't have audio. I can do a good.
It's coming. It's coming. I think. I think it's coming. Please tell me it's coming. So,
That's what she
Wes,
said.
Okay, here it comes. I'm just walking right into this archive. So, all right. So he had this to say, and we're gonna do the Cliff's Notes version of this, just because we are up against the break. So here we go. Chuck Norris's warning for America.
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris, and this is my wife, Gina. We are here to talk about a growing concern we all share. If we look to history, our great country and freedom are under attack. We're at a tipping point, and quite possibly our country as we know it may be lost forever if we don't change the course our country is headed.
With our country at a crossroads, Chuck and I have asked ourselves what we can be doing to help support this great country we're blessed to live in, and how we can encourage our like-minded American brothers and sisters to unite and let their voices be heard.
You could leave.
It is estimated that in the 2008 election, 30 million evangelical Christians stayed home on voting day, and Obama won the election by 10 million votes.
We know you love your family and your
Don't
freedom
let the
as much
Christians
as Gina
stay
and
at
I
home.
do. And it is because of that we can no longer sit quietly or stand on the sidelines and watch our country go the way of socialism or something much worse.
What
Our only
socialism?
hope is for each of us to make sure we have
I don't
not
think
only
he understands
registered to
what
vote in the
socialism is.
primary and the general elections for 2012, but to make sure our voices will be heard by casting our vote on Election Day.
As Edmund Burke said, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men and women do nothing. Our great president, Ronald Reagan, said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction." We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same.
President Reagan went on to say that you and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We will preserve for our children this last best hope for man on earth, or we will sentence them to take the first step into 1,000 years of darkness.
So what they're basically saying is this.
Okay. 1,000 years of darkness.
1,000 years of darkness will
Well,
come upon you.
Now, that might sound familiar, and so here's a prediction from one of my all-time favorite films, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
The quest for the Grail is not archaeology. It's a race against evil. If it is captured by the Nazis, the armies of darkness will march all over the face of the earth.
What world does this asshole live in?
Oh, it's Chuck Norris. He lives in action movie land, obviously.
I mean, if they, I make this offer to conservatives. All I want you to do is sign a legally binding document that says if Barack Obama wins re-election, you will leave. I'll pay for the ticket. I will sell my soul to Satan to buy you, every conservative in this fucking country, a plane ticket.
Jokes on the evangelicals because Satan doesn't exist.
If you will just get the fuck out.
But if they get out, where are we going to put them?
Guantanamo.
No,
All right,
we could.
that work
We
for
could.
me.
Well,
They seem to like it.
They want a
Yeah,
theocracy.
they won't let us close it, so why not?
They
We spent all this money for it, like they claim.
I do have to say though, just before we go to break, my biggest reaction to that whole Chuck Norris fucking shit is these are not the people that are helping, because as long as you cast your political opponent as the ultimate evil rather than, well, I disagree with him, you're not helping because you're just dividing shit more.
Right. I mean, even in the case when we were dealing with Bush, we didn't cast him as like the great evil.
Yeah, I don't think Bush was evil. He wasn't very good, but
he was a bit misguided.
I don't think he kicked puppies.
No, he just sold arms to Iran and committed treason.
Ah, but he couldn't see the people that he killed from that way.
Yeah, that's true. Why don't I have a bumper ready? Anywho, we are running late for. We are running late for break, so we will be back after this break with special co-host Rob Poole and the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Wes Skarsgård. It's
You hear that? I'm more badass than you, Rob. Ha ha.
Anyway,
I have nothing.
You're special. Anyway, we'll be back after this.
You're listening to Adam Hebert,
a man with breathtaking anger management issues,
on Mike Check Radio.
There's nowhere I'd rather be but here with you. The stars above light the way only for you and I. And I'm so glad I found the love that I've been looking for. In my dreams, I'm the one you're hoping for. Love can come through an open door. Just be strong and be sure to find the one.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show.
There's also news just recently came out about a 15-year-old girl, I think over in the UK.
Yeah!
Who's only eating McNuggets, and this 15-year-old...
get real sick?
Yeah, her tongue swelled up and she collapsed.
What's the technical medical term for eating nothing but chicken nuggets?
I think that would be suicide.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com. The More Me Show with DJ Downtown and Eddie Herradura, live from our nation's capital, every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, with hilariously scathing inches from the Beltway analysis of this week's political and social developments. The More Me Show at ProgressiveBlendRadio.com and RadioOrNot.com.
What the
hell?
Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Have you checked your mic? If you haven't, somebody else has. That's Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah! Oh, well, he's very popular, Ed. The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him.
Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
They think he's a righteous dude.
And I am a righteous dude, and I'm joined by two other righteous dudes. First of all, our special co-host for this week, Rob Poole, out of our Baltimore, Maryland bureau. Hi, Rob.
Hey.
And finally, the return of the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Wes Garskadden, fresh from his 12-hour-long torture last weekend.
But I come out stronger, mightier, ready to bring us 1,000 years of darkness.
Little callback to what we had going on before the last break. But so have you heard when your hours are going to change up yet, Wes?
I have not yet. It should be probably around the season change, so probably around the 20th, 21st of this month. But it depends on management, and you know how they are, pretty much everywhere.
You know, I worked Walmart. I earned my stripes. Let me tell you. Never again. I told my sister,
stripes
you need to go.
And scars.
Yeah, I told my 16-year-old sister, I said, if I ever catch you at Walmart, I will fly to Alabama. I will go into that store. I will drag you out kicking and screaming. You are above that. Anywho, so yeah, soon we'll have a full-time co-host. That's great.
Cool.
You know, hopefully. And of course, we do have some things to talk about after the show. But anywho, so how about that there Democratic convention, Wes? I mean, oh my God, I'm pumped. I'm ready.
You know, the one thing I gotta say, I missed a lot of the DNC, and the reason is because it was too good. It was professional and well done, and there were good speakers. The RNC was great to watch because it was funny as shit.
Watching the RNC was like
it's like being tased in the balls.
It was a disaster. Did you hear the news? Mitt Romney got no bump. That is unheard of in modern electoral history. I mean, no bump whatsoever. Dear God, the man's just like.
Even the Republicans don't like Romney. He's just the least bad.
He's just, you know, so anyhow, earlier we did, Deval Patrick's speech, but, you know, here's what you need to hear from Deval Patrick, which is this is the money shot.
And if we want to win elections in November and keep our country moving forward, if we want to earn the privilege to lead, my message is this. It's time for Democrats to grow a backbone and stand up for what we believe.
Yeah!
I can get behind that.
So, okay.
Yeah, they're going to need some help getting that shoe out of Romney's ass.
Did you find the joke yet?
Yeah, I did. You want me to repeat it?
Yes, please, repeat that. That was a great joke.
Yeah, basically it's just me riffing on the onion. This just in. Romney admitted to area ER for an emergency surgery on Friday to remove a foreign object from his anus. When pressed for details, the first responders said that the object was a very nice-looking male's dress shoe in a size 9.5. An insider for the candidate's staff said that the shoe may or may not have belonged to the president, and the injury was sustained during President Obama's speech at the DNC on Thursday evening. We are not sure how the medics plan to remove the shoe, although there is some talk between the candidate staffers about borrowing some trickle-down snake oil from zombie Reagan.
The onion.
No, that was Rob's joke, wasn't that?
Oh.
Yeah, I was riffing on the onion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Doing it onion style.
Oh.
No, that was your joke.
Good
just
work.
done in there. Okay. So,
that was good shit.
Yeah, before we go on, I just want to say that earlier we played clips from a woman who was saying that Barack Obama doesn't love this country. Well, Wes, or Rob, whoever wants to answer first, what would you say about a guy who said he wanted someone's and I'm not talking about Limbaugh, but if a guy came out and said, I want this man's policies to fail, what would you say about that guy?
I'd say he's an asshole.
I'd say he's pretty much a dickhead, yeah? I gotta agree.
Well, guess what? This is from Up with Chris Hayes. He dug up the audio. This is from... so they're going to play the bit from Romney's RNC speech and then something from later. Here we go.
Here's the I wanted him to succeed line, which I thought was part of this whole theme. Like, I'm not against, I'm not against him personally. I wanted the best. We all wanted the best for him. Here he is saying he wished the president had succeeded.
I wish President Obama had succeeded because I want America to succeed.
I can't help but note that in 2009, it was a little bit of a different message.
Hold on. He forgot again.
Are you familiar with audio tape?
About Obama's success. Take a look.
I want liberal policies to fail. I want him to fail in trying to put in place a health care plan that takes away the private sector from health care. I want him to fail.
So, now, can you imagine the absolute storm that would have happened if a liberal had said, in 2014 or 13, I say on national TV, like that's never going to happen, but just imagine for a minute.
Right.
I said, I want conservative policies to fail. Can you imagine the shitstorm?
Oh, yeah.
Cue the theme from The Omen.
I'm afraid I don't have that in my box. I'm sorry.
Just think of any loud, overly dramatic orchestral performance, and you pretty much got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would lynch him, whoever it was.
Yeah, cause a complete double standard,
Right.
I wanted to bring that out because that just really pissed me off. All right, so before we get to Jesus Christ, there was just so much audio this week. It's like, make it stop. Oh my God! Have I got stories to tell you after the show? So let's do Jennifer Granholm's speech because let me tell you, Jennifer Granholm was on fire. So here is the first cut of her speech.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Granholm from the great state of Michigan, where the trees are just the right height. Hey, let me tell you a story about the dark days in my home state. So toward the end of my time as governor, Ford closed one of its biggest factories, a factory in Wixom, Michigan. And the plant had employed over the years thousands of middle-class men and women in neighborhoods near and worlds away from the place where Mitt Romney was raised. And when Ford's decision to close the factory hit, I went down to the local union hall, and it was actually almost empty. A few workers were milling about, really in a state of shock and grief. And I talked to a 45-year-old guy who told me, "This is the only place I've ever worked. I've been loyal. I've done everything they've ever asked. And just like that, it's gone." And he looked around the hall and he said, "So, Governor, is it over for us? Is the American auto industry dead?" And honestly, at that moment, I just didn't know. But that was just the beginning. When the financial crisis hit, things got worse and fast. The entire auto industry and the lives of over 1 million hardworking Americans teetered on the edge of collapse, and with it, the entire manufacturing sector of this country, and we looked everywhere for help. Almost nobody had the guts to help us. Not the banks, not the private investors, and not Bain Capital.
I mean, she's telling it like it is. I mean, those are the facts.
Right. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to work. When nobody else can help, that's what the government is there for. It's to do the things that private equity and private companies can't do efficiently.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the whole platform, though, is that this last straw of assistance should not exist. It's bizarre, that somehow government should not exist because it exists to help people. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, she went on. Here's cut 2.
But in 2009, the cavalry arrived, and our new president, Barack Obama, came in. He organized a rescue. He made the tough calls, and he saved the American auto industry. Now, Mitt Romney, he saw the same crisis, and you know what he said? Led to try to go bankrupt. Now, sure, Mitt Romney loves our lakes and our trees. He loves our cars so much they even have their own elevator. But the people who design and build and sell those cars, well, in Romney's world, the cars get the elevator and the workers get the shaft.
Yeah! I want to see Jennifer. Yeah. That, I mean, first of all, let's face facts, that is true. Second of all...
Quite honestly, after that, I need a cigarette.
I know. Someone said, Rude Pundit on Twitter said that Michelle Obama was foreplay, Bill Clinton was pure sex, and Barack Obama's speech was the afterglow. But I mean, we need...
Afterglow cuddle.
Yeah. Afterglow cuddle. Thank you.
I would love to cuddle Obama.
We need Democrats with spine.
Strong hands.
Cue the rock biter. They look like big, strong hands. Anywho, so...
chicka wow wow.
Oh, wait. Because we got asshole of the week coming up. And Wes, just so you know, we're going to be running about 10 minutes over because we were experiencing technical difficulties again. Thank you, Ustream. I was not happy. Ask Rob. I'm just like freaking out. It's like,
dude, show must go on. Chill out.
I know. It's just. Okay, I'm in my happy place. Okay, so, alright. I think we're ready for Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Oh, my God. Now, this... oh, my God. So here's cut 1 from Biden's speech.
For the rest of our lives, my sister and my brothers, for the rest of our life, my dad never failed to remind us that a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about your place in the community. It's about being able to look your child in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it, and know it's true.
that great, good speech, but it gets better. Here is Joe Biden. Or any reaction to that first clip?
I wish Joe Biden was my dad.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you, he raised some fine kids.
I'd have a beer with that guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I weren't a teetotaler, I would too. I'll have a soda with him though. Anyway, cut to Joe Biden.
2008, before he was president, Barack Obama made a promise to the American people. He said, if we have bin Laden in our sights, we will take him out. He went on to say, that has to be our biggest national security priority. Look, Barack understood that the search for bin Laden was about a lot more than taking a monstrous leader off the battlefield. It was about so much more than that. It was about righting an unspeakable wrong. It was about healing an unbearable wound, a nearly unbearable wound in America's heart. And he also knew the message we had to send around the world. If you attack innocent Americans, we will follow you to the end of the earth. Look, most of all,
oops, my mistake. So whoever said Democrats don't love America, fuck you. You heard them. Yeah, really. USA, we love our country. We loved our country so much, we cleaned up the mess George W. Bush left us, so you can kiss the fattest, whitest, most liberal and Italian part of my fat, white, liberal, Italian American ass. Left cheek pucker up.
I'm glad to see you feel so strongly about that.
I do, thank you. So, again, wow. Any reaction before cut 3? Oh, what the
America, fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah.
So, here we go. I think that was cut 2. So, here we go, cut 3.
Most of all, President Obama had an unyielding faith in the capacity and the capability of our special forces. Literally the finest warriors in the history of the world. The finest warriors in the history of the world. So we sat. Originally, only 5 of us. We sat in a situation we were beginning in the fall of the year before. We listened, we talked, we heard, and he listened to the risks and reservations about the raid. He asked again the tough questions. He listened to the doubts that were expressed. But when Admiral McCraven looked him in the eye and said, "Sir, we can get this job done," I sit next to him. I looked at your husband, and I knew at that moment he had made his decision. And his response was decisive. He said, "Do it," and justice was done. Folks,
so yeah, I mean, America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I still think we suffer a little bit from being overdramatic about it. But hey, it's a convention, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, At least one of the conventions. But anyway, let's take out some trash, shall we?
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name? Asshole. Major asshole. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Were you born an asshole?
Asshole?
Or did you work at it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine. 'Cause you're an asshole tonight.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow?
And oh, come on! Sorry. All right. What can I say? I mean, tonight's asshole of the week has a long history of assholery. I mean,
yeah, I'm actually honestly surprised that this particular one hasn't come up before.
I was wondering about that too.
Well, she's actually been pretty.
My reaction was, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Because, every time she opens her mouth, she's auditioning for this role.
Well, but the thing is this:
what if she says something even worse, like in a month? How are we going to cope with this?
It was a really bad week for assholes because of the convention.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I almost went with Eric Cantor, and we'll cover that in the next segment because that pissed me off. But so Ann Coulter I think she has a new book coming out. That's why she's suddenly active. She's been pretty quiet for the past year or so. I
don't know. I wouldn't call her that quiet.
Yeah, but she hasn't been she hasn't been like this. Bill Clinton just impregnated Sandra Fluke backstage.
What?
Oh, there's more. They're spicing things up. They're spicing things up with a live abortion on stage.
What?
Okay.
But wait!
Fucking crazy.
There's more! She then goes on to pimp her article on Human Events, saying, "You must read this article in Human Events before the horny Hicks speech tonight."
The horny Hick?
Horny Hick. So I gave a speech at the DNC? I don't recall having been there.
Huh? Ann Coulter again. Sandra Fluke. Republicans would define rape. Later that night, shakes hands with Bill Clinton and cannot get smell off of her. And of course, then she has to go and insult our women. There's not a chick in that audience that Bill wants in knee pads. That's ugly.
Man, okay. See, this has pissed me off since the 90s. It's like, okay, Bill Clinton had an affair. Okay. It doesn't mean that horny is his defining aspect. He does seem like kind of a horny guy, though.
So what you're saying is...
Move on.
Exactly. They love to say, oh, well, Bush was a warmongering asshole, but move on, it's now. Oh, Clinton blowjob.
Alright, and here, this one, Monica Lewinsky somewhere sobbing, clutching stained dress and eating Haagen-Dazs by the TV light. 4 cats yawning. Meow! You bitch!
Seriously, Ann, go on another tour with Bill Maher, get some good lovin', you'll feel a lot better.
It's like... Here's why I want to tell Here's why I want to tell Ann Coulter. If I met Ann Coulter, I would probably have to say,
"Don't make me go to the larder and unseal a tin of whoop ass."
I don't know. I think she'd kick your ass.
I am a short Italian with a bad temper and steel-toed boots. I promised no transvestite, no trans jokes. So I would kick her right in the face. I would go Azzy on her ass and give her a swift kick to the face.
Can you kick that high?
I would probably end up on my ass, but yeah, I could probably.
You get at least one good one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the bouncers take you apart.
Well, yeah, but it would be worth it. I would die having kicked Ann Coulter in the face. Come on.
I think of worse ways to go.
So, so Ann Coulter, congratulations. You are our asshole of the week. So yeah. Anyway, we are running late on the break. We'll be back shortly to augur this baby in. Don't forget, we're running about 10 minutes late tonight because of technical difficulty, so excuse me. Hiccups. Stick around. We'll be right back. Woo!
Don't you know that a traditional Japanese breakfast is steamed rice, miso soup, and a little...
Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Unfiltered truth, news, and opinion. Filter-free radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott.
You can always go back to Rome and Greece, and then let's face it, kingdoms. It wasn't until a couple hundred years ago that we realized that, hey, monarchies don't work. Let's think of another kind of system of governance. It's something a little less hierarchical, if you will, or at least concentrated power. Then again, when you're dealing with money, capitalism is about money and the exchange of money, then concentrated power works really well.
Radio or not, and filterfreeradio.com. The 99 Report with Ally McNeil, covering all the issues that affect the 99% and what drives the Occupy movement. Live on Fridays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/99-report. Podcasts available on the blog, the99report.blogspot.com. And be sure to follow Ally and the 99 Report at Watergate Summer on Twitter. The 99 Report with Ally McNeil. A voice for the majority.
Nobody react to what I'm about to tell you. I think that kid might be
Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
There we go. We are back. I'm back with special co-host Rob Poole in our Baltimore, Massachusetts. Massachusetts, right?
Maryland.
Thank you. Baltimore, Maryland Bureau. Did I say Massachusetts earlier? Anywho.
Yeah.
Why didn't you correct me?
I did that time, so.
Well, thank you.
And
point. And of course, sorry. And our badass co-host in our Chattanooga, Tennessee Bureau, Wes Karskadden.
Hell yeah.
And just a reminder to our, listener, watcher, the one, this segment will be running 40 minutes instead of the usual 30. Long story short, Ustream crapped out. It's still not working right, but as far as I know, everyone has audio and visual, so we're proceeding. So, we're going to skip right ahead to Biden's money shot. That one clip, don't get me wrong, I know he's been using this for 6 months now. But,
Still sounds good.
Oh, yeah. So here we go.
And because of all the actions he took, because of the calls he made, because of the determination of American workers and the unparalleled bravery of our special forces, we can now proudly say what you've heard me say the last 6 months. Osama bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive. That's right. One man.
That, if it were just a little smaller, it could be a bumper sticker.
Yeah, but it's not like they can read anyway.
That's good.
But,
yeah. You really wouldn't. Bumper stickers are kind of dangerous anyway. They're really small. It's hard to read.
Yeah, so you end up tailgating somebody and trying to read what it says, and you're just like, oh, motherfucker. It's like...
Anywho, so,
it's still an extremely effective ass whooping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Certainly.
It's like I said, Wes. I don't know if you caught this on Facebook, but I was saying that what we saw this week wasn't the DNC. It was Mitt Romney being strapped into an automated ass-kicking machine set to 11 for 3 days straight. Spinal Tap reference, yeah. Yeah. So, but. I have to say, we couldn't talk about the DNC without bringing up the big dog, Bubba. Did he kick ass or what?
Oh, dude, I love Clinton. I love that man. That man has it figured out.
Well, thank God, because I've got 10 clips they're you know, so here's cut one, Bill Clinton.
Mr. Mayor, fellow Democrats, we are here to nominate a president. And I've got one in mind.
You gotta admit that was funny.
It was.
Yes, but we already had him for 8 years, so we'll take Obama instead.
So, here's cut two. We're probably not going to do all of the clips, but I'm definitely going to play the money shot, which is...
I want to nominate a man whose own life has known its fair share of adversity and uncertainty. I want to nominate a man who ran for president to change the course of an already weak economy, and then just 6 weeks before his election saw it suffer the biggest collapse since the Great Depression. A man who stopped the slide into depression and put us on the long road to recovery, knowing all the while that no matter how many jobs that he saved or created, there'd still be millions more waiting, worried about feeding their own kids, trying to keep their hopes alive. I want to nominate a man who's cool on the outside, but who burns for America on the inside.
I mean, yeah!
I want to nominate a man who keeps his office blowjobs discreet.
Alright, that's your one. That's your one blowjob joke. Any more?
I only get one blowjob joke?
Yes, we're liberals.
That means I get more blowjobs than blowjob jokes?
Hey, what happens off the air? None of my concern, buddy. But I mean, let's give it up for the big dog. I mean, yeah. Mitt Romney's gonna be walking bow-legged.
He brought it home.
You know.
Oh yeah, he was because even people who don't like even Republicans still kind of like Bill Clinton. It's fucking Bill Clinton. He's so lovable.
So, cut 3.
In Tampa a few days ago, we heard a lot of talk about how the president and the Democrats don't really believe in free enterprise and individual initiative. How we want everybody to be dependent on the government. How bad we are to the economy. This Republican narrative, its alternative universe, says that every one of us in this room who amounts to anything, we're all completely self-made. One of the greatest chairmen the Democratic Party ever had, Bob Strauss, used to say that every politician wants every voter to believe he was born in a log cabin he built himself. But, as Strauss then admitted, it ain't so. We Democrats, we think the country works better with a strong middle class, with real opportunities for poor folks to work their way into it, with a relentless focus on the future, with business and government actually working together to promote growth and broadly shared prosperity. You see, we believe that we're all in this together is a far better philosophy than you're on your own.
I mean, home run. And it's just like he's like Babe Ruth. He's hitting him over and over again. He's pointing to the bleachers saying where he's going to hit him. I mean,
Bill Clinton in that clip says exactly what I've always said that really should be the rallying point of the entire left, because it's the opposite of what the others are saying. A great line from Brazil, Robert De Niro. You know, we're all in this together. That's something we can all understand. We can all identify. We're all stuck in this country together, like it or not. Why should we just say fuck you, Jack? You know.
Exactly.
Well, Mitt Romney wants to say fuck you, Jack. I've got mine. and I'm going to take yours
Yeah.
too. Bill Clinton, cut 4.
Who's right? Well, since 1961.
Uh-oh, you know what this means, guys.
He's going to drop some math on us.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
snap.
And we are at FACTCOM 5. Here we go.
For 52 years now, the Republicans have held the White House 28 years, the Democrats 24. In those 52 years, our private economy has produced 66 million private sector jobs. So what's the job score? Republicans 24 million, Democrats 42.
And that's not including the public sector jobs. That's just private sector jobs. If we included public sector jobs, we would be still kicking, it would be like 60 million versus 22 million or 24 million.
Well, yes, but if you talk about like actual results, then there's no way that can be seen any other way. Therefore, of course, you only hear about numbers of the DNC. Numbers have a liberal bias.
Yep, facts do too. Or as Ronald Reagan said, facts are silly little things.
Yes.
I think we can skip straight to the money shot. I think that's fair. Ready?
I love skipping straight to the money shot.
Strap yourselves in.
Now, I think this plan is way better than Governor Romney's plan. First, the Romney plan fails the first test of fiscal responsibility. The numbers just don't add up. I mean, consider this. What would you do if you had this problem? Somebody says, we got a big debt problem, we got to reduce the debt. So what's the first thing you say we're going to do? Well, to reduce the debt, we're going to have another $5 trillion in tax cuts, heavily weighted to upper income people. So we'll make the debt hole bigger before we start to get out of it. Now, when you say, what are you going to do about this $5 trillion you just added on? They say, we'll make it up by eliminating loopholes in the tax code. So then you ask, well, which loopholes and how much? You know what they say? See me about that after the election. I'm not making it up. That's their position. See me about that after the election. Now, people ask me all the time how we got 4 surplus budgets in a row. What new ideas did we bring to Washington? I always give a one-word answer. Arithmetic.
Amen!
Laying some math on those motherfuckers.
Yeah, and you can just hear Republican heads going,
Oh yeah, it's Clinton just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he literally shot his load all over the face of the opposition.
Well, it's not. It's more than that.
Don't
not only did he
him.
lay out the details. Not only did he lay out the details for the Democrats' plans, he pointed out the fallacies with the Republicans' plans.
Say what?
In fact,
you can't do that.
He did so better. He himself gave more details in that 48-minute speech than the GOP did for 3 days last week.
He's giving more truth in one 50-minute speech than the GOP has given in the past 3 decades. You just know Mitt Romney is in a hotel room or his mansion somewhere, just holding his blankie going,
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Quaking in his jammies. I mean, and we're still not done. Well, we're done with Clinton because let me tell you, this week was a nightmare.
We have to make room for Obama.
Yeah, we're Obama's dessert.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, I was up until 3 or 4 this morning. 3 or 4 this morning editing audio, and I still wasn't done. I was editing audio up until about 5 o'clock. I need help.
Most certainly.
So, yeah, let's just go. You know, let's. Where's Obama? Where's the? Okay, so here we go. Let's kick this off.
Now, the first time I addressed this convention in 2004, I was a younger man. A Senate candidate from Illinois who spoke about hope. Not blind optimism, not wishful thinking, but hope in the face of difficulty. Hope in the face of uncertainty. That dogged faith in the future which has pushed this nation forward, even when the odds are great, even when the road is long. 8 years later, that hope has been tested by the cost of war, by one of the worst economic crises in history, and by political gridlock that's left us wondering whether it's still even possible to tackle the challenges of our time. I know campaigns can seem small, even silly sometimes. Trivial things become big distractions. Serious issues become sound bites. The truth gets buried under an avalanche of money and advertising. I mean, if you're sick of hearing me approve this message, believe me, so am I.
Nah, come on. That was a good joke.
Yeah, that was clever. Although, if you're sick of hearing him approve this message, don't worry, because with Citizens United, he won't have to on all of them anymore.
So, yeah. So here's cut 2.
Now, our friends down in Tampa at the Republican convention were more than happy to talk about everything they think is wrong with America. But they didn't have much to say about how they'd make it right. They want your vote, but they don't want you to know their plan. And that's because all they have to offer is the same prescriptions they've had for the last 30 years. Have a surplus? Try a tax cut. Deficit too high. Try another. Feel a cold coming on? Take 2 tax cuts, roll back some regulations, and call us in the morning.
Again, another zinger. It's out of the park. It's going, gone. Or if Harry Carey were live today, he would say, "Holy cow!" I should get that drop for my box. I love Harry Carey. When I grew up, he was just the holy cow guy to me. So,
but yeah, that was an extremely effective and perfectly pitched description of the GOP plan.
Yep.
They have no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all they have is these like very general ideas like, well, nobody likes taxes. Let's talk about them and people will vote for us. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and let's be honest. If Mitt Romney does win the election, and please, if there is a God, don't let Mitt Romney win. It's a one-term presidency because we are, and I'll tell you this: not only will be a one-term presidency, we will sweep back into power by 2016. We will have all 3 branches of government under liberal control, and that control will last for at least a generation. That is how
we still have whole election thing going on. By that point.
Provided we still have a government, there's that too,
Anyway, cut 3, Barack Obama.
You didn't elect me to tell you what you wanted to hear. You elected me to tell you the truth. And the truth is, it will take more than a few years for us to solve challenges that have built up over decades. It'll require common effort and shared responsibility. and the kind of bold, persistent experimentation that Franklin Roosevelt pursued during the only crisis worse than this one.
So first of all, his point is it takes more than 4 years to clean up 30 years of elephant shit.
Oh, dead on.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a lot of elephant shit.
Yep.
They were eating some seriously nasty, nasty green shit.
So yeah, is that 3? So here, here is cut 4.
We can choose a future where we export more products and outsource fewer jobs. After a decade that was defined by what we bought and borrowed, we're getting back to basics and doing what America's always done best. We are making things again. I've met workers in Detroit and Toledo who feared they'd never build another American car. And today they can't build them fast enough because we reinvented a dying auto industry that's back on the top of the world. I've worked with business leaders who are bringing jobs back to America, not because our workers make less pay, but because we make better products. Because we work harder and smarter than anyone else.
So basically, in this election, we have a choice. We have a choice between the audacity of hope and the mendacity of dope. I'm going for the hope guy.
Well, the whole facts thing sure helps.
Yeah.
He had me at, you know...
He has reality going on in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if it comes down to an argument between, well, here's a detailed explanation of our situation, and, well, socialism, it's easy.
Yep. All right,
Yeah.
so here we go. Cut 5 and 6. These are both short, so I'm kind of... I'm smashing them together. Adam Smash!
And after a decade of decline, this country created over 500,000 manufacturing jobs in the last 2.5 years. And now you have a choice. We can give more tax breaks to corporations that ship jobs overseas, or we can start rewarding companies that open new plants and train new workers and create new jobs here in the United States of America. You can choose the path where we control more of our own energy. After 30 years of inaction, we raised fuel standards so that by the middle of the next decade, cars and trucks will go twice as far on a gallon of gas. We have doubled our use of renewable energy, and thousands of Americans have jobs today building wind turbines and long-lasting batteries. In the last year alone, we cut oil imports by 1 million barrels a day, more than any administration in recent history. And today, the United States of America is less dependent on foreign oil than at any time in the last 2 decades.
I mean, you had me at hello, Barack. You know.
Obviously, there's things that we can improve, but yeah, we're getting better. This, whole energy thing. I did kind of what the fuck when you said clean coal, though.
Yeah,
Well,
that
yeah.
bothered me. There is no such thing as clean coal.
Right.
Period. However, we obviously can't just drop everything and drop coal. But here's the thing: we need, while we're using these reserves, develop these alternative energy so that when we run out of coal, which is going to happen, same thing with oil, we're not going to be caught with our collective pants down by China or whatever is our new enemy. And they would have us think this is bad. The Republicans think that's bad.
Heaven forbid we be proactive about any problem that comes up. But in that sense that there's something that hasn't really been mentioned a lot, that coal is going down. The use of coal is going down fast, mostly because all the natural gas companies are fracking everything that they can. But there is that.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing is, where coal is ultimately a doomed technology. You know, it had its run and it's been good, and we still use a lot of it. But it's yesterday's tech, and you know, one thing that is a constant is change.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid the free market works for change.
Free market's only good if it keeps the same people in charge.
Pretty much. So, this may be... Uh-oh. My green screen's kind of... It's not working! It's failing!
It's been failing. I don't know about you.
And it was looking fine! We're trying green screen tonight, Wes.
Okay.
And...
I never watch because I'm lazy and just have Skype.
I don't get it. It was looking really good until like recently. So here, there we go. We're just gonna shut that off for now. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna have to get chroma green fabric and see if that, it's just, I don't want you guys seeing the mess underneath my bed. Damn, where was my well, we're almost out of time. Let me see, do I have, here is cuts 7 and 8.
So now you have a choice between a strategy that reverses this progress or one that builds on it. We've opened millions of new acres for oil and gas exploration in the last 3 years, and we'll open more. But unlike my opponent, I will not let oil companies write this country's energy plan, or endanger our coastlines, or collect another $4 billion in corporate welfare from our taxpayers. We're offering a better path, a future where we keep investing in wind and solar and clean coal, where farmers and scientists harness new biofuels to power our cars and trucks, where construction workers build homes and factories that waste less energy, where we develop a 100-year supply of natural gas that's right beneath our feet. If you choose this path, we can cut our oil imports in half by 2020 and support more than 600,000 new jobs in natural gas alone. And yes, my plan will continue to reduce the carbon pollution that is heating our planet, because climate change is not a hoax. More droughts and floods and wildfires are not a joke. They are a threat to our children's future. And in this election, you can do something about it.
Thank God he finally said what has to be said. No, climate change, and I still say the reason why we lost is we didn't market it properly. We said global warming, so whenever it got cold out, people said, well, shit, it's snowing, so global warming can't be real. Climate change, motherfucker, it's climate change.
I don't know, I don't think that would have got through their heads either. But, the president, I'll give him kudos. Thank you for bringing up climate change.
Yes,
that needs to be brought up. I did kind of go, what the fuck, when he said clean coal, though. There's a couple issues also with the focus on natural gas. I don't know if you've ever seen Gaslands.
I've seen the water lighting on fire, and obviously fracking. We need to get off fracking, but let's be clear.
Kinda
natural gas is clean. We just need better ways to get it.
The problem is, how are we going to make these gas companies be more efficient at it and do it cleaner? Well, we have 100 years worth of experience dealing with coal companies that are, well, need I say really anymore?
Yeah, I mean, they're entrenched and they don't want. It's this conservative philosophy: power. We have to have power. It's like, again, I said it before. To conservatives, power. Like America is their toy. They don't want to share it, and if they're made to share it, they will break it.
Yeah.
I don't care care if that pisses Dana Loesch off. Come and get me, bitch! I'm right here!
Yeah, well, fuck him anyway.
I wouldn't fuck Dana Loesch.
In fairness, I would have awesome hate sex with Dana Loesch.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Rob on this one. It would not be good sex. Well, okay, it would not be healthy sex, but it would be some good sex. Oh, that's terrible. As a disclaimer, in case it ever gets back to her, I mean that in the nicest possible way.
All right, well,
Yeah,
let's.
I'm not worth anything, so please don't sue me.
Just saying,
I'm not either. Okay, well, let's auger this in. Let's get our plugs in. First of all, I'd like to thank, birthdays! Shit! We forgot a very important birthday last week, so we're going to do birthdays now. I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to my Japanese teacher, Nakagawa-sensei, Bob Newhart, Lucas Minnick out of Montana, Jake Williams, also Montana, and what's this? Robert Poole? Who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, who is that guy? He sounds like a scumbag.
Like some douchebag.
But seriously, happy birthday. And the big one, TV's Frank Conniff turned 56 last week. So,
who?
Frank Conniff. From Mr.
TV's
Science
Frank
Theater.
from Mr. Science Theater.
Oh.
Mr. Push the button, Frank. And please check out my friend Robert Wood's story in the magazine, in the online magazine underneath the juniper tree. It dropped last week. It is out and about. Read it now. And of course, please check out all of our friends on our various affiliates. What the hell? There we go. Please check out our fine friends on our I hesitate to call Nicole Sandler our affiliate because she doesn't seem to like us. No, please check out the Nicole Sandler Show every Monday through Thursday, 10 Eastern to noon. Check out every Monday night, 7 to 9 Eastern, Filter Free Radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott. Every Wednesday, 7 to 10 Eastern, Talking Left with Shane and Danielle. Every Tuesday and Thursday, Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick. All 7 to 10 Eastern. All these on Radio 9. And don't forget, Kenny Pick is now on terrestrial radio on WVKO 1580 out of Columbus, Ohio. So that's 5 to 8 Eastern. Other shows that we ask you to please check out are The Shannon Files with John Shannon and Mistress Clarissa, who was a wonderful guest last week. Hubba hubba. AWOP Radio every Friday. And every Sunday night, every Sunday on Radio or Not, The More Me Show with DJ Downtown and Eddie Herodora. And please support everyone. You don't even we're not asking for money. We're asking for you to come. We're asking for your eyeballs, and we're not even going to rip them out of your skull. We're just going to, please come watch. I think that's all of our plugs. So, parting shots. Rob, as our special guest co-host, you go first, please, sir.
All right. So, the RNC is over. The DNC is over now. So, whatever happened to the Occupy Wall Street thing?
The first anniversary is the first anniversary sometime next week. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, there is stuff planned. I'm kind of plugged into the local group here in Chattanooga, but
well, if you
there
can
are
get us
events
audio.
planned. You haven't heard the last of them.
Good.
Good. Yeah, exactly.
If you can get audio, please get us some audio. Wes, parting shots, please.
Okay. Bill Clinton blowjob.
There we go. And again, thank you all to our wonderful listeners, Paul Green, Victor Rocco, whoever our mystery guest is, Rob Poole. You all are the greatest. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. I would probably given up after show 2 if not show 1. Anywho, we're going to head out. Thank you all for listening, and we will be back next week with another edition of Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert and Wes Garskadden. Everyone say goodbye!
Peace. Time for go to bed. Aye, 'tis late. Shall we retire?
Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye to you all. I'll never forget you. Live in peace.
Goodbye, all. Stay happy and good luck.
On our way to great adventures.
Get out of here! Disgusting worm!
Push the button, Frank.
Get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Visitors, thank you for your attendance.